There we go. All right, now he's got the message back. So the project's going really, really well. We've got basically the house is pretty much all cleaned up. See, here's the house all cleaned up. And when I say cleaned up, I mean basically everything assembled and essentially put into one room. That's one of the goals of these projects always, is we always want to make sure that we get kind of everything into a room. That way we can kind of go through it. You'd be surprised what you find in a lot of these things when we buy them like as done and from estate sales. Pretty often we find some stuff worth selling, and we just use that to help defer cost. In all honesty, it's a lot of times we'll do it and we'll like buy guys lunch or bring them donuts and that sort of stuff. So well worth having around, but yeah, project's going absolutely killer. Let's see, let's turn this thing around, kind of show you guys what we're looking at there. Hey Brett, good morning my friend, good to see you. And guys, make sure that you hit that like button for me. We want to start hitting that out, goosing that algorithm. So we've already ripped up, as I told you guys before, we're going to rip up that tile flooring thing here. This is actually really decent, really low Berber carpet. And so it's got basically no height to it whatsoever, but it's a great pad. It's got like a rubberized pad underneath it. So we're actually going to obviously clean this thing up. And then where there isn't any carpet, we're actually going to continue in there, just go over it with actual pad. And so when we go over that with actual pad, that'll give us a nice solid surface. And then we'll actually LVP on top of this. Because this is really more of like a mat, or like a rubberized mat with like some sort of like a, I don't know what it really is. It is technically carpet, but it's kind of like an indoor-outdoor carpet. And then this carpet we're actually going to rip up. And then we're emptying closets into bags because that's all clothes that we can have gifted. But this is what the room looks like. And holy cow, like the stench, the unbelievable stench of smoke in this room is just absolutely horrid. But we're going to take the singer out. We'll put that over in the nice stuff. All of the rest of this stuff will basically just go in the trash. So this will be finished getting cleaned out. That's actually happening today. And then after today, clean out should basically be done. As far as demo goes, we've talked about the stuff that needs to be demoed. There's really not a whole lot of demo left. What I'm actually playing with the idea right now is the budget's looking so good on this. Like seriously, the budget's looking really good. All the big stuff that we were worried, that can have a big concern to it. So there's still a couple things left. One is the heating system. Oh, let me get a light on. One is the heating system. And so not knowing, wrong way, over here. Sorry, guys. Here, this one. Nope, this one. How about this one? What the heck? Oh, he must have whacked it with something. That light bulb's just out, period. All right, let's get a little bit better light. So one of the things that we're actually looking to do is potentially add space. So here we go. Here's a useless hallway. This hallway is of no use. It comes right off the kitchen, right? So you got the kitchen right here. What is this space right here? Well, right now, washer and dryer are over here in this space. Makes absolutely no sense. It's the kitchen. Why leave the washer dryer over here? It's just not needed. I just don't think that's the right path. So we'll actually finish that off, make a nicer kitchen space. It'll be a little bit more in cabinets, but we can now put the washer dryer, boom, right here. Now we'll have to put a drain in. We'll have to put supply lines in. So don't get me wrong, that'll cost a little bit of money. But hey, all good. That's fine. The budget's looking super healthy right now. If we add another bathroom, we'll get more money. Because this right now is the only bathroom. Now, while that's going to be fine for the homeowner, it's like, do you really want somebody, using the bathroom off of the kitchen? So imagine having a friend over, you're sitting at the table and they head through the bathroom. Dude, the bathroom's right there. I don't know about you, but that's a bathroom phobia for me. Like in every movie you've ever watched, right? So we think that we can actually add that space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk to the inspector and just say, hey, we want to just add a bathroom right here and add plumbing. So what we're going to probably do is take up this hallway. We'll go all the way to the ceiling. I'll have them frame that in. We'll use the existing wall that's there. Hold on one second. This is what happens when you send somebody on an errand. So, but we'll fill that space. So, we'll basically box this out. We only need to go probably to about here to get the washer dryer in. And then the rest of that space, we'll actually get a doorway in right there, which will be fantastic because, here, let me walk around that other side. So now we'll have the doorway right here, coming in right here. But again, that's not the doorway on that side. That's the box size. And then we'll have a doorway right here, so we'll get this window right in here, which will be great because you have all the natural light coming from the front door. Fantastic. But then right here, we'll leave enough space where, again, you can get a toilet and potentially some sort of a sink in. But this will be a great thing to build just a box right here. Again, we box that thing off, make it a full wall. Absolutely great idea by me. But this is going to be that's just a moneymaker, guys. That's just a moneymaker to put another bathroom in here and do it right there in the entryway, as opposed to what we have right now, this stupid, useless hallway. This hallway's useless. It doesn't have any function. It's of no value. That's useless square footage. What are you going to put there? There's nothing to actually put there. So again, you're far better off putting in washer, dryer, moving all that stuff, getting it out from over here, and then just making that much bigger of a kitchen. Right now, that's what the plan is. Right now, I can't be sold on doing something different than that. So right now, that's what the plan's going to be. But we're going to crunch the numbers. Check it out. If you guys missed the live stream last night, go check out the live stream. I go over the entire budget. Spend an hour with you guys going over the budget, showing you exactly what a budget needs to look like, how you build it, doing all of that work. All right, so let's go. Let's hit some of these things. Brett says, good morning. Good morning, Brett. Oh, here, I'll turn it back so you can see I'm reading it. Rankin Projects, heading to my burr now. Congratulations. That's the best. Autumn, congratulations. Jeffrey Miller, I bought unisex thongs and wasn't impressed. Well, that's good. Congratulations on that. I mean, I guess if you have neither, does it really apply? Fair question, right, Jeff? Scott Coleman, good morning. How are you? Boy Lewowski, roach infestation. Incorrect. There is not a roach in this entire house. He was dirty, but he was dirty with cigarette smoke. All of that stuff that you see there was all the construction debris from us making and building the dormer. Flavio Macias, good morning from Washington. Good morning, sir. Jeffrey Miller, I heard you were looking for some baby oil from Thailand. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, Jeff, this is what happens to stupid people. Enjoy. Let's see. Chris Wissing. Hey, Chris, how are you, man? Saw your picture of you and your sons on Happy Sunday. That was fantastic. Love the pic. Great shot. Watching at work. Happy Friday to you as well, sir. Alex Bastow. Thoughts on Diddy? Don't really have any. Don't really care. KG Dub. I got a guy who can help that's insured. PRC buy on wire. My guys are all insured, so I think we're good there, but thanks for the offer. Risk Off Real Estate. Morning, bro. Sanding, priming, painting bedrooms today while hanging out. Very cool. I love that. Love when people are hanging out and doing the work themselves as well. So as you guys know, the rule for me on this house was I wasn't going to do any of the work because I know that some of you guys can't do the work because you're not local. I know that some of you can't do it because you don't know what you're doing. I know some of you just don't want to do it because you got a full-time job. Totally get that. So I want you to use this and to be able to apples and apples. And so to compare apples to apples, that would mean I don't do any of the work here. So I'm not. All I'm doing here is showing up every couple of days, checking on the progress, and asking them, hey, what's our timeline? Where do we stand next week? And what's the next thing for next week? Just keeping everything on schedule. So right now, we're actually in pretty good shape. And I kind of like where we're at, honestly. There's some things, so we've got some planning stuff. We're going to look at adding that bathroom and see what that's actually going to cost us. Because the bigger number that I have to wait for is the one from the plumber, because that's going to be supply lines to both, and it's also going to be a drain line for both. So the question is, what's that going to look like cost-wise? I'm guessing it's probably going to be like $3,000 in all honesty, which is horrible, but I'm betting it's probably going to be about $3,000. If it is $3,000, I think we've got room in the budget to do it. As some of these other things have developed, I think we're in pretty good shape. So that's something we're going to continue to look at. Tim L., love the idea of getting rid of that hallway. Will you separate washer and dryer or have to do a combo? No, so we'll have enough height in here, ceiling height, where we'll actually be able to do a stackable. So you can go with a real stackable washer dryer. What we won't do is we won't buy the washer dryer because, again, the only way that we would do that is if we decide that we're going to keep it as a rental. That's the only way that we're going to buy the washer dryer. Otherwise, we'll just put the hookups in there and they can see that they can just add washer dry themselves. The only argument to the combi is that then you have like a folding area, but whatever. Maybe, maybe not. Afro-capitalist, if you're long distance investing, how do you determine right cost for labor and material for any job? That's a great question. That's why you get 3 quotes. So one of the things that we teach Afro-capitalists is we teach getting 3 quotes for everything. And we have them list out what's the material that you're using, because we want to understand what products are you using. Some people only quote superior product. I don't want to be paying somebody the same amount of money to be installing garbage product. So I want to know what product you're using, and then I want to know what your cost is for the project. A lot of times they'll say, hey, it's going to be $5,500 all in. That's great, but how'd you come up with that number? That's what I want, because a lot of times they'll guess high and we'll guess low. I just want to guess I don't want to guess, I want to just get to the real math. So the best way to do it, even when you're remote investing, is you obviously have to have a team, but I get 3 quotes. I get 3 quotes unless one of our existing guys goes, hey, I got some time in the schedule, I can squeeze that in, and I can do it for this. And then they usually treat you pretty right on the pricing, because they have some sort of a few day gap. And most of the work that you'll see around this place, most of it is kind of like, hey, I can do that in 3 or 4 days type of thing. None of it's really crazy big stuff. That being said, all right, we're going to head upstairs. You have to hit that twice every single time. That's really super annoying. All right, so here's the dormer, guys. Here's the dormer all built. See? Pretty awesome, eh? How much did that change the upstairs? Now, obviously, they still have finished work to do. They'll come in here, they'll cut things back, they'll frame everything off, get it all cleaned up. But they'll get the frame in. That way it'll go right to the studs, right to the joists, sorry. But it'll go right to the joists. And when they do that, then we'll be able to sheetrock this entire area. But I don't know about you, but looks pretty freaking awesome to me. And frickin's a technical term. Now, what will we have to do? This will either need to be a wall, right here. This will either need to be a wall, or it will need to be a railing because of this edge. So it will likely be a wall. The other option too is to put the bathroom up here. That's another option as well, because we could put it like right into the edge right there and then just close this off, and then you have this light in the hallway, and then there's a door here. So we might just put a wall right here, and then that way we can put a toilet right there, because that would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. And then you have an upstairs toilet for these 2 bathrooms, which would actually be probably a better solution as opposed to a bathroom downstairs. So, yep, we got to get all of this. All of this is going to get ripped off today. All of this lovely paneling, that's all going to get ripped off today. And then, yeah, we'll pop some of these doors. Oh, here's the original wood floors. See? That's actually raw wood right there. How awesome is that? That's raw freaking wood. Like, God bless it. That's raw wood. That's going to stand out. Guys, this floor is going to be ridiculous. This floor is going to be ridiculously awesome. And then, sadly, over here, we have a bunch of peel and stick. Now, I have to decide whether or not we're going to yank this stuff up. I'm a little bit, more than a little bit bummed. Oh, you want to see the sexy new roof? Check out that. Look at that, right? How is that? Guys, this is 1 week. This is what pros do. So we've built listen, this is this week. We built a dormer. We demoed the entire roof. We demoed the entire area. Built and framed an entire dormer. It's basically, the roof is getting roofed and all the siding is being put on that this week. We got everything cleaned up from the roof. We're about 80% cleared out when it comes to product and material, as far as getting all the stuff out of the space that needs to come out of the space. but there's some of the remaining lumber that's in, because they'll have to tie this into the roof, and then we'll probably also tie this in or we'll probably just tie in there, is my guess. But I think this is probably the site for a bathroom, in all likelihood. Which way do the joists run? Yes, down there. Yeah. Yeah, so they're running this way. I think. Are they? No. Nope, they're running this way. Okay, cool. So we can probably get a pipe in. We can probably even get it into the same stack. We can probably do one stack down and then just get an offshoot off of that to put the washer into. All right, let's go and do questions. Tim, the dormer is definitely friggin' awesome. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. Yeah, dude. Like, how rockin' is that? Like, this completely changes. That used to be their line, and so literally being on this step, I was hitting my head on the ceiling, and I still had 2 steps to go, so I had to literally crouch down just to get upstairs. Now we open this whole entire thing up, like, hot damn, man, that's like stinking awesome. It is awesome. Now, what I do recognize is there any insulation up there? Oh yeah, I do see. Yeah, there's insulation right there. So there was insulation up there. So we'll just have to replace the insulation in these bays. What we'll actually do is we'll probably just put in some nice R38 rock salt in this space, and this space will actually be extra warm. Dion talk. Hey, Dion, buddy. Sweet, I agree. Thanks, pal. Chris Webb. Hello from Hey, Chris Webb. How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you and your lovely wife are doing great. Yeah, there's the rough cut lumber. Check that action out. You want to see how wide this is? I can't get my finger all the way in there. Here's how wide that is. That's how wide that piece is. That's why these houses, they don't fall apart. That's why they're good for hundreds of years. Oh, actually, you can see right there. That's how thick it is. I got a pretty decent sized hand. But, so that's, 4.5 inches. Like, think about that. The stuff that they're using now today is 1 3/4. 1 3/4. This is what they're using today. This is more than twice that. Here comes Blake. Hi, Blake.
Hey.
Blake's coming up to clean up the upstairs, because one of the things that we always do when we're getting ready for an inspection is we always clean up the hallway. We always want to clean up where the inspector's walking, because we don't want them to slip. But this is super freaking awesome that that this floor is in the condition that it's in. Like, that's just awesome. That's all natural wood. Sorry, Bob. And once we get in here, I think we're likely going to rip up this floor. I'll probably have Kenny start it, but we're going to pop this. I think we're going to pop this floor, because then we're going to get that beautiful natural wood all throughout the upstairs, which is fantastic. I just totally dig it. All right, if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. These are a couple of windows that we're swapping out because they don't meet egress. So I actually have to ask the inspector about that and say, hey, can I swap out in kind, or do I have to expand them? Because if I have to expand them, it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt, in all honesty. But I think we can probably or possibly go with just crank windows, which makes that really possible. We go with one non-crank and one with a crank, and that way we can get it open. So yes, sir. Here, I'll just get out of your way. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on. This has been a fantastic first week. We're all going to miss Blake when he goes away, but he's starting an awesome new opportunity, working for a plumbing company next week. So we're super pumped for him to do that. And then we'll invite him back maybe someday to come do our plumbing if he gets his license. Tim L., what's up with the front window? Does that really mess up the siding? What's up with? Oh yeah, so yeah, that's definitely gonna mess up the siding upstairs, Tim. Yeah, that's gonna mess up the siding 1,000%. 1000% it will. Because we have to go up with the window. So I'm actually waiting for the inspector. The reason I'm waiting for the inspector is I'm going to ask him what his preference is. Does he want me to lower the sill and bring it closer to the ground, closer to the floor, or does he want me to go up, because then we're going to start to stretch into the roof line? But the good thing is with the size window that is, with how wide it is across, I think it's 44 inches across, we can get a nice big window in there, but we need at least, I think that bottom sash needs to be at least 3 feet, which means, or 2.5 feet, excuse me. So that means we got to be like 30, probably 44 by 60. This is how big that's going to need to be. It's going to need to be a big window because you got to get egress. So I just have to ask him. I got to ask him what the rule is, and what he'd like to see. Let's see, Nino. How's that wet? How's that wet floor near fridge? It's not wet. That's actually a piece of the tile floor still underneath the fridge, so not wet. Oh, do you mean what was underneath it? Yeah, we're just gonna rip that up. We'll cut that piece of plywood out. We'll just rip it up. So we're gonna resheet right there. But that's one piece. That's one piece of flooring. So what we'll do is from underneath, we'll probably cut from underneath until we see all the soft stuff, and then we'll pull out the rest of the piece for sure. Let's see. So yeah, great question, Nino. Flavio, will you replace the kitchen? Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. We'll definitely replace the kitchen. Here's the kitchen. Man, you gotta hit that thing twice. That's so annoying. So yeah, we'll replace that. We can make it a nice, beautiful kitchen. If we were just trying to do budget, like, yeah, we could keep this kitchen, but the drawers are kind of junky. They're not really like on track. Yeah, they're older drawers where they didn't really put them on track on stuff. So, yeah, not a fan. So we'll pop the counter off. We'll pop the sink out. The sink will get tossed. But yeah, we'll pop all this stuff out. But see, the electrical was already upgraded. See, electrical was already upgraded. That's what he spent like $5,000 on maybe 20 years ago. But he upgraded everything. So this stove will actually have cleaned, and then we'll use this as a hot swap stove. So that way we can pull in, pull out, put it where it needs to go, if we ever come down to the issue where it's like we just don't have a stove that we need. Afrocapitalist, is it realistic to reach financial freedom with single-family homes, or at some point as an investor matures that have to do multifamily? That's a good question. There's plenty of people that have retired off single-family homes. They just don't work in this market. So based on not working in this market, that's one of those things. It just doesn't work in this market. So because it doesn't work in this market, I don't really know. I've seen other people be successful doing it. Obviously Zuber did it and a lot of other people did it, but big driver there is obviously the multifamily that they own for sure. Love cars. Where do you look for your contractors? Do you recommend Thumbtack? Yeah, Thumbtack is fine. Angie's List is fine. The big thing that I like to do that I think is a whole lot better is be in a landlord group and talk to other landlords about who they use. That's a better option. It's like a way better option. It's just so much better of an option than any of those third-party sites. Because then they're used to working for landlords. They recognize that you're going to require something different than the homeowner. I don't require that they wear booties in my places. Why? Place is a construction zone. It's not really needed. It's kind of over the top. Do you run costs on kitchen or 500 square feet of kitchen? Good question. I measure out the kitchen, so I know exactly what this measurement is, and then I send it over to my designer, who still charges me $99. But I send it over to the designer for $99, and then I have him design out the kitchen. I let him know, here's the height, floor to ceiling. I let him know this is what the run is. And then he gives me that. Then he gives me the numbers based on that design, and then that's how I get it. So yeah. How much do you think it'll be to do the kitchen? Well, based on the fact that I'm a cabinet company, probably not a whole lot. I'm guessing my budget's $6,500, and that's cabinets, that's install, that's counters, that's sink, So yeah, I'm guessing $6,500, but I bet we can beat that number. I always want to guess a little bit high, just because that gives us flexibility in the budget. But as a group, on the day that I bought this for the community, we made the decision that we were going to try and basically do a cash out refi. Well, if we believe the ARV was around $310,000, that meant that we were going to be about, $93,000 off of that. And so we were going to be right in that kind of, 217 range. And so if we were going to be in that 217 range, then that meant that we had, based on what I paid for it, that meant that we had a $64,000 budget. So based on that $64,000 budget, I then broke that down to what we were looking at, made sure to build in a 10% contingency, share all that stuff in my live that I did last night, so all that information's there for you. Love cars. Love calves. Sorry. But all that information's right there for you. But yeah, we'll do the kitchen, like I said, should be about $6,500. But that's with high-end cabinets. Yes, Dion, we will do butcher block in all likelihood. I don't see why we wouldn't. But we may. We may do something different. I don't think we will, though. Care to share the designer information for the kitchen? So we don't share that only because that's a perk to being in our course, in our boot camp specifically. Because I don't want to be a cabinet company. I want to enable investors that are investing in themselves, i.e., in education. So we actually don't share that, but we only share it. We don't share it for that reason. Because again, we want to make sure that we don't want to become a big, huge cabinet, selling shop. We just want to help investors that are investing in themselves and their message, or their mission. Chris Webb, last question. You have to trade your $99 designer fee for a referral from your videos. Thanks for the answer. What type of designer? Run-of-the-mill designer? Oh no, specifically a kitchen designer. Yeah. Yep. Specifically a kitchen designer. Yep. Yep. So they work with this line of cabinetry, so they know all the ins and outs of it, and that's the best plan. All right, guys, I got to head out. So it's been an awesome live stream. Promised I would do this one. So, hey, I'll catch you in the next one. Later, guys.